Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to Jason Gooner TV. I'm your host. Here the levels are good. That is wonderful. Yes. So people, welcome into the building. You know what time it is, people. It is one match day -1. So you know we have the tactical preview up and ready for you today. We also have the press conference this morning, so we're going to play some of that, react to that as well. Just look into some of the press conference news that we had from the US side. Mauricio Pochettino did have a press conference yesterday, so we had some quotes from that we just want to talk about. He did talk about the upcoming fixture, some players out, and his thoughts on the squad he picked. So we want to talk about that as well before we jump into the second half of the show, where we get the teams on the tactical board and we talk about keys to victory, predicted 11s, so on and so forth. And of course, you know, like always, this is an interactive space, so I want everybody in the comment section to get involved. First way you do that is by liking the video as soon as you enter. Like up the video, people like the video. That's the way it gets out, gets the visibility out there. If you are subscribed to the channel already, be sure turn on your bell notifications. I was making some thumbnails today, so you should have seen I dropped the watch along live stream. So we'll drop that in the comment section throughout the show as well. Try to get some likes on that so that we can get the visibility up for tomorrow. Yes, people, you know, if you want a good experience with the match, great commentary, good analysis as well in real time, you know that Jason Gooner TV is the place to be. All right, people. So also today, people, we have some ticket giveaways. I have some more tickets to give away. So we're going to be asking questions throughout the show. And of course, drop your answer in the comment section. The first one to answer, I will be getting your contact info so I can send you the ticket. All right, people. So we have some more ticket giveaways as well today, people. So a full action-packed show. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it. People will find the show as we get going. So first, we want to go ahead and listen to the press conference from this morning. We might not listen to the whole entire thing, but basically we'll listen to parts of it. Definitely listen to the coach's introduction, where he gave us all the team news, the latest team news. We did have some news out that, you know, well, I won't even get into it. I'll just let you guys hear it and then we'll discuss. So as you drop in, people, drop on a comment, bless up the channel, bless up on yourselves, everybody dropping in and checking in. Make sure to like the video, share it around to your, you know, network of friends and family and whatnot, so everybody can know that we're live. You know that this place is where you're going to get some serious tactical breakdown, and that's the plan for today. All right, people, we're going to look at both teams and try to make sense of the rosters picked. Also, we're going to look at the keys to victory for both teams and try to predict the 11s as well. All right, people. And of course, mixed into all of the action today on the show, we are going to give away some tickets. All right, people. So as I say, action packed, and we're going to get through the content smoothly and it's going to make sense. So people, as you drop in, make sure like the video. Up chorus, while go on, namesake, big up yourself, my brother. Yeah, man, Bigs G, up full. Bless up Vinny Congo, we're there. While go on, Stephen Lloyd, we're outside, you know. And big up Conrad Smith. Yeah, man, all the people them always are checking. Big up on themselves. Yeah, man, and anybody new to the channel, they don't know, subscribe. All right, so without further ado, let's go right into some of the press conference from earlier today. Didn't get a chance to get in today. It was not any virtual link available, so we just had to watch it and take it in, right? So have they not put it out? Okay, I'll have to go here. Thought JFF might have put it on their page, but it looks like all the other folks will have it. But I have a link, so let me just go to the link. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to play it from here. Bless up Oran Hernandez. Big up yourself, bro.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. This is the pre-match press conference for Jamaica against the United States, first leg of the quarterfinals of the Nations League. I appreciate your support despite the inclement weather that we've had recently as well. Your presence here as well, punctually. Greatly appreciated. So to my immediate left, we have the head coach of the Jamaica Senior Men's National Team, Coach Steve McLaren, and to his immediate left as well, Issac Hayden, Reggae Boyz midfielder. Before we open the floor for some questions, we just want to have a few opening remarks from our head coach McLaren before we get into the questions.
Coach. Yeah, man, a vintage jersey.
Okay, I think the first is quite a sad note in the fact that the passing of Miss Ivy, a favourite amongst the staff at the
Condolences
JFF.
to Miss Ivy and her
She will
family.
be sadly missed, and I will miss my coffee
All
because
Miss
she
Ivy family
gave me the coffee on every
Long
press
time
conference
JFF,
at the beginning when I
employee.
came over. Beautiful woman. Condolences to her family. And yeah, so we're really sad about that. I'd like to commemorate that. The game, we're really looking forward to. The main goal was to get out the group and was to get to this stage, which gives us an opportunity to play against a big team. And there's no bigger team than the USA, with a new coach, world-class coach, good players. This is a step up and a test really for how far we've come and where we need to get to. So we're looking forward to that. The majority of the squad have arrived, apart from Mikel Antonio, who has a suspension for one game, and we're hoping to get him for the second game. And Ethan Pinnock, who picked up a knock at the weekend on his hip. He's under medical treatment with his club, having to have scans. We're constantly in contact with him every day. We're hoping that at some stage, maybe not for this game, but for the second game, he can come and join us. Bobby Reid is missing. His wife has just given birth to a baby son. So congratulations also to him, his wife and family. And yeah, we're looking forward to the game, and I'm looking forward to and be working with Issac for 2-3 days now. And it was great to get him over. The commitment that he showed to do that, taking the responsibility of coming over himself. We've got to thank the JFF, the president, Roy Simpson, all those involved in making sure that Issac could join us earlier and get the experience of the camp, where the goal, as always, is World Cup qualification, and this is just a stepping stone to increasing and developing and broadening the squad. Thank you.
All right, so that was the coach's kind of introduction. So just bullet points from that little preview intro that he gave just now. So he basically started with the players out. Mikel Antonio, as you know, suspended for the first game. I think some of us, including myself, was a bit surprised to see him traveling over to Ghana, commemorating the opening of an academy that he's opening over there, with through his foundation. But I thought it was kind of telling that the coach said he's hoping to have him for the second game. So not very definitive in that statement there. So I guess Mikel Antonio will be a case where we'll just be waiting. Once they get to St. Louis, we'll have to listen out for the press conference there to try to get some clarity on the situation as far as Mikel Antonio coming for the second game. Ethan Pinnock, people were, I told everyone, I had some information that he had stayed back in England to do some scans on Monday. We got proof of this from the footage we saw from training. They went to the Bob Marley Museum. I don't think it would have been strategic that they would have not put Ethan Pinnock in any of the pictures. So I kind of, put 2 and 2 together there, plus my correspondence with a source inside the federation, and also reaching out to some journals over on the other side of the pond. I was able to say that, I didn't know the nature of the injury. I just knew that he stayed back to do some scans, felt something during the game, even though he got through it. Most people were saying, boy, he played the 90 minutes. So, this don't make any sense. Many times you play matches, you feel something in the second half, even the first half, and you push through it and you get through the game. And then afterwards, you let the medical staff know what you're feeling and they evaluate you. And, depending on what they see when they evaluate you, you may need further scans for them to really figure out what's going on. And it looks like that was the case with Ethan. Now, he did mention, though, that similar to Antonio, he's hoping that he can have him for the second game. They're in constant dialogue. So we will be, watching and seeing. I will do my best on my end to try to find out the information in real time and get it to you guys as quick as possible. And then, of course, the third player he named was Bobby Reid. Congratulations to Bobby Reid and his family. His wife gave birth to a baby boy, so I want to big up Bobby Reid very, very happy that that happened, and everything looks like it went smoothly with that. So we're very thankful for that, and we give praise for that. All right. So he didn't mention, though, that he's hoping to have Bobby for the second game. So I was hoping maybe, since the birth might have happened, maybe Bobby would, make that trip. But he didn't mention it. He did say it for the other two players. So again, we'll just have to wait and see in that next press conference what the deal is with those players that weren't quite able to make it for this first game. I think Antonio and Pinnock, for right now, we're just going to say they're hopeful. And it looks like Bobby Reid will not be able to join up with the team in the second game based on what the coach just said. All right, I'm going to play some more at the press conference, people. Like the video.
Thank you very much, Coach.
On to that one now.
Thank you very much.
Hold on, people. I don't know why this now.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Daniel, do you want to kick us off? Questions, Daniel, do you want to kick us off?
All right, Coach. Your messaging to the players over the last 4 games, you said that you wanted them to be brave in possession. Knowing that we are playing against...
Let me know if the questions are audible. If not, I will kind of repeat.
Tough conduct of team in USA, is it the same? Of team in USA, is it the same message, or is it more of an adaptation where you say let's suffer out of position a bit and try to catch them on the counter, that type of thing?
I think there are exactly two words or two statements that we've made to the team is adaptability. This is a different opponent, and I've watched the games previous, especially the last one, and I don't know what the possession stats were, but not very high for Jamaica. But that doesn't mean that you don't win football matches that way, and very close to doing that. So we have to adapt every game to what we're doing.
Sorry, people, this thing no want to cooperate and just play. I don't know why.
Every game to what we're doing, and I have to as well, because CONCACAF is different. Isaac will find that out. Playing Honduras, playing Nicaragua, playing Cuba, now USA will be totally different. I think you have your own principles, but you also have to adapt, but stick to what you do. And one of them is exactly being difficult, hard to beat. But the other message is we have to be better on the ball. We have to deal with the ball better. We have to make sure that we have the belief, the confidence and bravery, especially. And when I looked at the last game, the US came very close. The only thing, I was talking to Meron and people who were involved, players involved in that yes, was good, but we needed to keep the ball better, because all the chances were for the USA was transitions when Jamaica gave the ball away. So we have to be careful of that.
Yeah, in terms of the wide position, you were impressed with Cephas and Norman Campbell and Kaheem Dixon's cameo against him. Does that kind of signify the type of importance that Leon will have, knowing the quality that he brings to that position?
I think when I look at the squad and the talent that we've got, it's one of the reasons why I came here, because of the talent. And we've got talent in wide areas. Very good. We already knew about Kaheem. We already knew about Leon, Damari, Cephas. It's great. We've introduced Norman Campbell as well. So we have also Tyreek McGee, who can play in that area, wide on the right. We have good wide players. We have good speed, athleticism. That's one of our strengths, and that is something that I know. It's no secret. That's something which, I'm positive the USA will look at and know a lot from the last game. So we need to use that. We need to adapt. We need to defend very well. We know that. We need to be organised. we need to be very good on transition and very good with the ball.
All right, thanks.
All right, so that was the first set of questions. I believe that was Daniel Blake. I want to say he's a gleaner. Either he works for one of the newspapers, but decent questions, I thought. The first one, basically, he just wanted to know what the overall message is to the team, to face the USA. And I think the key word there, and we saw big up We Maxit, Billy, JD, the man of many monikers. He said, wow, the coach found his sense adaptable. Wow, I thought he would go toe-to-toe. Yes, that was one of the first things I jotted down. He mentioned adaptability, right? And I think that's something that I don't really use the word adaptability. Typically, my catchphrase or word is balance. And I think that's a part of being adaptable as well, because we cannot get too caught up in one aspect of the game against the USA. I think we're going to have to be brilliant at quite a few aspects to get the result. And I think he made a good point as well when he said, a lot of the chances that we gave up in that game when we were, pretty much playing a low block for 90 minutes, they were typically off of our mistakes. I think a part of the reason why, if you look at that game, and we'll look at the stats in that game, because I think that's a good thing to look at. Just the last time we played them in a game that mattered, a lot. One of the things you'll notice is at halftime, the coach made some changes for the USA, and I think that was due to the fact that they weren't really creating much in the first half. Yes, we were sitting back. Yes, we were doing more defending for sure. But as far as opening up clear-cut chances, I don't think the USA was really thriving at that until the second half, when I thought we started to tire a bit more. And of course, you add the likes of a Gio Reyna to facing a team against a low block. He's like, a low block kryptonite with his creativity. So, the hope is take a bit from that game, but also maybe not fall in love with just that one tactic. We have to find a way, as he said, to love the ball more, be confident enough to be on the ball, even against one of the best pressing teams in the world. And I think the way we do that is just being sure about the patterns that we want to play to beat the press. Of course, it can't be just plan A. You have to have a few different ways to beat it. But I do think that the addition of some players in this window, and I think the picking of the 11 is going to be crucial, because you're going to want your most technical players on the field. So let's see how that looks as far as the 11 goes. But adaptability, I think he's on point there. We have to be adaptable in this game. I think in the last time we played the US, getting that early goal was almost the best possible scenario for us, because we had something to defend. Now, if the situation changes this time, where it's 0-0 for a long stretch, or even, God forbid, we go down a goal, what's that adaptability that we'll use to stay into the football match? Because you would not want to go back to America on the losing end of any kind of scoreline, especially due to the fact that away goals are still in play in this competition. So that's just something I thought was key. And then he mentioned about the wingers and saying that he had named a few that he was impressed with in the last window, and how important will that phase of the play be. And he just said, yes, that's one of our strengths. We have good wingers. He mentioned Damari by name, Leon by name. He mentioned McGee can play out there as well. He said that definitely they want to, maximize the opportunities to get them into positions to create havoc for the other team. So wing play, I think, will be crucial as well. I agree there. And I think the adaptability. So far, I must say I agree with the answers so far, but let's see how long that continues in this press conference. People, let me just bless up some more folks that drop in. Big League Len there. Said Billy influenced the coach. Conrad want to know why Russell not in the team. I did as well. That's why I asked him in the press conference before, and his answer shocked me. But yeah, if you haven't heard that yet, people, the press conference that was done virtually to name the squad, I did get a chance to ask a question. I asked the first question, and the first question was about John Russell. I asked a follow-up as well. But yeah, just if you haven't heard that yet, listen to the answers I was given. I thought they were what they were. So just listen to them. Big up Chris Smith. Thanks for being here, bro. Like the video, I'm sure you did. All right, so let me play this again.
Thanks very much, Daniel. Jordan?
Good day, Coach. Question to Isaac, though. Isaac, we're just wondering if you have been watching Jamaican football if you have been keeping tabs on the national team, and wondering what can you offer to this midfield if you know that we're having midfield problems. So wondering what kind of player are you and what can you offer?
First of all, fantastic to be here. I have been watching a lot of the games. I've been in contact with the coach now for a little.
So Hayden was just asked if he's been keeping up with the team, watching the games and everything, and what he brings to the team.
A while, obviously talking about things and how I can help the team. I think, if people have watched me play, they'll know that I'm a highly committed player. Obviously defensively, probably stronger than going forwards. But I think it's, creating that balance between attack and defence is probably my best attribute of the game. Making sure that rest defence is good, turnovers, duels, making sure that defensively we're as solid as possible, and then it gives the chance, like the coach has said, the attacking players that you've got in the team to do the damage. As I said, it's been a long time coming. It's been something that I've spoken to the previous coach about. Didn't feel that it was quite ready for me. I had a couple of bad injuries a couple of years ago, so international football at that stage was not really something that I thought was possible. Now I'm over the injuries, and I'm as match fit as I can be, considering the game time that I've had so far. I feel ready and feel good to contribute.
Question.
All right, so that's good. He say feel ready to contribute. You'll see later with the predicted 11. I feel like this guy is gonna have to play, guys. I don't know. I mean, I know it's not looking good as far as match fitness. It goes against pretty much all of my principles whenever I talk about team selection. But I said it before and I'll say it again. Drastic times call for drastic measures. And we have a gaping hole in that part of the field. And I believe that on talent level and what I've seen of the player in his career, he offers something that nobody else in the team can offer right now. So, yeah, it's tough. You're throwing him to the wolves. I don't think it's a safe thing, but he's going to have to just, try to use all his experience to survive out there, I said, them are dead. Not them, but the fish them. Cranky said the coach is prepped by the press officer before each press conference. Surprised he didn't do better in the prior window. He did well in the virtual one. Yeah, I thought, he's learning, Cranky, because in the virtual press conference, he had a long intro trying to kind of basically answer the questions he would have thought would be coming. And he left off one player. And luckily, I was called on first, and I asked about the player right away because I was wondering how come in his whole intro about players that just missed out and didn't quite make it, how John Russell didn't get in that mix. But his answer let me know how, because apparently he wasn't really keeping up with the player during this time. It was a friend of his from Barnsley who called him to tell him how much of a revelation he has been, right? So, yeah, that's a bit strange. But anyway, this is some more of the press conference now, people.
Coach, what do you think that Hayden can offer to this team, and how much of a pull was it that you are already aware of this time?
Yeah,
time at Newcastle.
Yeah, I knew Issac for many years. Tremendous talent, and his move to Newcastle was, I thought, an excellent move for him, which it was initially. But unfortunately, as with all footballers, when you get injuries, it can curtail the momentum in your career, can stall it a bit, and that's what's happened. He's fought for 2 or 3 years to get back to the level that he was, and we're hoping to add Jamaica to that stepping stone, that he's able to put himself forward onto a platform in which it's possible that he can play international football, different experience, unique experience, but also one in which, our target is the qualification for the World Cup. To play in a World Cup must be a dream for every player.
One more question, Coach. What do you know about the mentality of this crop that you have here? What have you learned about them?
The group
relates to the mentality.
Yeah, the group is. They're a great group. Isaac he's come in and. Yeah, as someone said to me this morning, the vibe is very good, and it is, and that's what I like. The energy, the energy in the room, the attitude of the players. You know, we put ourselves under severe pressure by not beating Cuba here, which we should have done. And then we had to win in Honduras. We had to draw against Honduras here. We had to win in Nicaragua, which is always difficult. So the players have shown that, they've got that mentality to win games and different ways to win games. That's important. We'll need all them ingredients against a very, very good and very strong USA team.
Thanks, Jordan. Matthew? All right. Daniel Jarrett, anything from you?
My question is to Isaac. How are you assimilating in the current squad? What's it like being around the gentlemen around you?
It's been really, really good. Everyone's been so welcoming, not just the players, the staff. Obviously I know a lot of the players already that I've either played with before or I've played against. Coming in on the flight, even with Leon Bailey, having discussions about the history of Jamaica team and, what it's been like before was really, really helpful. And as I said, it's been a really good couple of days. Obviously, the most important things are the games. So as I said, everyone's just looking forward to tomorrow now and hopefully putting on a good performance and getting a good start in the two games.
Thank you, Daniel. Eddie?
Morning, coach. This US team still in transition and new coach with Pochettino. You are aware of his work. Do you think you have some form of advantage or benefit knowing that you know the coach?
Who that, Eddie?
I don't think so. It's normally not coach against coach. It's 11 against 11, and the bench you make a difference. So I don't think that will be. You're absolutely right. He's just taken over. He's in transition. I'm probably in the same situation as well. And we're both searching for the right team and the right balance and the right formula. As I say, over 4 games we've had, I don't think I found it yet. I still think we've a long way to go. But I'm so encouraged by what I've seen over the 4 games that I'm excited about the future. And we got through the group, and we wanted it a big game, an exciting game. And as I said before, there's none bigger than the USA.
Any follow-up, Eddie? All right, Livy?
Yes, Coach. You're mentioning something similar to what I was going to ask. Based on your progression to this point, basically, what are you expecting from the Jamaica team tomorrow? And any concerns you have with the team in particular going into the game?
Obviously,
Man said, what? Hold on. You hear that question there? Man said, what to expect from the team tomorrow? Really? Like, you couldn't, I don't know.
I think the main thing is that we know we've got talent. We know we've got potential. I think the key thing, and we've talked a lot about it from day one, is consistency. So that we don't see one Jamaica one game and then another type of Jamaica the next game. We need to be consistent in what we do, in our principles, in our rules, in the way that we work, in the way that we train. And with that consistency will come consistency of performance. And that's how you progress and get better. And that's how we will qualify for the World Cup, by being more consistent. Yes, adding to the quality of the squad, but also maintaining the attitude, the vibe, as they say, the togetherness of the team. That's the most important thing.
Isaac, what is your expectation of yourself as you join up with the Reggae Boyz and for your first?
I think just do my best. As I said, I'm a fully committed player. Anyone that knows me or seen me play knows that I'm a highly committed player and someone that gives 110% every moment of every game, every training session. I always want to win. So I think the main thing for me, being my first camp, is obviously I'm settling in really well. Like the coach just mentioned, the long-term aim of this situation is to try and get to the World Cup. Obviously, we've got 2 massive games coming up, and I think it's just for me to bed in, contribute as much as I can, however many minutes that is, and give 110% and see where that takes us.
Jamaica have been courting you for some time. What gave you the push this time around?
I think, as I said, speaking to the coach and what he's trying to do with the team going forwards. And I think, my family was a big part. My dad is born in Jamaica. He left when he was a young boy, but he's still.
So here what him said there, his dad was born in Jamaica. Anybody wondering like why his stuff came through so fast? Anytime one of your parents born here, it's a lot easier. At least that's what I've been told. So that's a part of the reason why his probably came so quickly, and we know that he did travel to the island to get it done, which also speeds it up. So yeah.
Still got massive roots to Jamaica, and I think he was big in convincing me or saying to me that I think this is something that you should do, and it's a very proud moment for him. And as I said, I think it's one of those opportunities where it's too good to turn down, to try and help build a legacy for Jamaica, help encourage the younger players that are coming through, try and be a role model for them. And as I said, reaching the World Cup is obviously the ultimate game for this country.
That's one more for Coach. How you see this USA team? How you plan to approach the game in a particular way to get the result?
Yeah, same as we approach every game. Be organised, be hard to beat, be good on the ball, good in possession. And this game, when I see USA, I see us. It could be a transition game, and we have to transition better than they do. So we have to defend well. So that's what I see. Tough game, good players they've got. They're playing around Europe, top leagues in Italy, top 5 teams. So this is, as always, not going to be easy. But this is why you're in football, for a test like this. So it's a gauge as to where are we at this present moment. And after the game tomorrow night, we'll know a lot more than we did before.
All right, I love how I put that there right now. This game is literally a gauge to see where we are. And that is so true. Because we have played 4 matches under this coach. I think, especially maybe that Honduras game, it was more about the result. I don't think, the style of play was that much of an issue to the coach. He's even said it was a weird game, which I agree. It was played at almost half speed for an international match. And both teams were just happy to go ahead and get through to this stage of the competition. Now, I do feel like this game, though, while it will be result-based, the coach is going to want to see his team playing a team of this caliber, how they react. Can they carry out the instructions he wants under more pressure? Because this will be more pressure than any game they've played so far under this coach. Realistically and figuratively, Jamaicans really like to get one over on Uncle Sam. We know that. So there's that added on top of it as well. Bragging rights to get a win. The last time we beat USA in Jamaica would have been that game where we scored 2 free kicks. I think Rudolph Austin and Luton Shelton. I want to say it was 2013 or 14, one of those years. So, it's been a little while since we beat USA at home. Yeah, 2012. There we go. Can always trust Rob to get my dates right for me. Yeah. So, be careful, Rob. If you know a lot of dates in the past, they will hire you. So maybe you have a job in the JFF headed your way, Rob, because a lot of these archival dates and players who scored and all these things, if I get it wrong, you always tricking, you always making sure I get it right. So Rob Smith, you have a future working with Simon there to give the coach all the press, the press. Get him ready for the press before he talks to them, right? Because you have all the dates. Yeah, Luton and Rudy. I got that part right. Yeah, so yeah, I thought that made sense. It's a gauge. It's a gauge. It is a gauge to see where Jamaica is at the current moment against, arguably the strongest CONCACAF team. I'm sure Canadians will laugh at me when I say that, but I still consider the USA and Mexico just a little bit above Canada. I know the rankings don't say so. I know some of the previous, most recent results don't say so. But I think we can't just, cut out the USA dominance in the Nations League and Mexico winning the Gold Cup. Canada didn't win either of those, so we have to count that as well. So that's my thinking on it. I think Canada is on that same level with them. No, I think where they were probably looking up at them, they're probably, rubbing shoulders with them. No, I would say they're all basically on that top tier of CONCACAF, those three teams right now.
Fans were too happy for the last two home results. Can we deliver tonight? Are you confident that we can deliver on the market?
Also, we like the Cuba game without getting the goals. The Honduras game was a strange game. It was as if both teams were happy with the draw because of the result of the other game. So that was a strange game. And this is going to be totally different. But you're absolutely right. The key thing is that we try and make what people say is this is the office again. So people will fear coming here.
Thanks, Libby. Mr. Blake.
Morning.
All right, there was a cataract sighting today, people. So listen up. This question could take the rest of the show, but listen up.
Morning, Coach. Morning, Isaac. Morning, Blake. Cataract, Ultras, and Reggae Boyz Sports. First question, Coach, to you. The significance of this game, Jamaica versus USA, what we the fans call the Visa Derby. Many Jamaicans overseas, in the United States and here. We're very proud of our island. Are you aware of the importance of the rivalry between the USA and Jamaica? One, and they've been at the, let's say, the lucky end of some dubious decisions in the past. Phantom penalty in 98 coming right up to getting away the last minute of the game in the last Nations League.
Yo, Simon, translate cataract question for me, like the coach don't know patois. No coach I say seal it up, Simon.
But when you get us across the line, and are you aware of the intense rivalry between Jamaica and USA?
I think so. I hope the players obviously know it more than I do, and the fans also. And that's very important. The fans are going to be so big for us tomorrow. However we play, whatever we do, they've got to be our 12th man and help us create the office, as they say. So we're well aware of that, and talking to the players, they know what they have to do. They know how tough this game will be, and during the game, 90 minutes, whatever it is about the players, not about the coaches. They have to perform, and they have to have the will and the want to win. And I'm positive our guys will want that.
This is Isaac for me. And the coach, we've been, the CDM position has been our Achilles heel for a long time. We've been searching for a replacement for Anthony Grandin.
Yo, people, I have to pause it. I know this is the first in a while he's done this, but I remember when Cataract first asked questions in these press conferences, every single time he would mention Anthony Grant's name, and it kind of went away for a few times when he's asked questions, but he was back today, saying that we haven't replaced Anthony Grant yet in the CDM,
Number 6 went through CDM, so we're happy that you've been able to replace Isaac. Could you tell us what you see as a CDM? What qualities he brings, and Isaac, could you tell us what kind of CD? Are you that dog? Are you that fighter? Leave everything on the field? Do you still have that in you as you've been back in your younger Arsenal days coming through? Or are you a more finesse kind of CDM? Let the fans know, please.
Cool. I'll answer that first.
Please.
I think it doesn't matter how old you get. I've still got that dog in me. I'm a fighter. I give everything from minute 0 to minute 100 if it's that long. That's always going to be in me. It's never going to leave me. Obviously, as you get older, you learn the game a little bit more. You can read the game a bit better than you do when you're a younger age. But no, the duels, the physicality, that's still my game. Obviously, on the ball, I've certainly improved. To be a bit more of a controller, but as I said, the defensive side of my game, that's me.
All right, so basically, I say, listen, I have that dog in me. I have that in my game. You know, I know the player because obviously he was developed at my club, Arsenal, that I support. So I know he was a part of some great U19 teams, and he was a centre back then. And of course, as he has progressed in his careers at the senior level, he has kind of become a central defensive midfielder, even at times playing CM as well, earlier times in his career too. So, you know, I think he can do both. I think when you're talking about a player with good balance as a central defensive midfielder, he would be somebody I would call that, because I don't think either part of his game, whether it's the attacking part or the defensive part, really is lacking. I think he can do both. I think the only thing and the biggest question mark, and it's a realistic one, is, you know, how much does the lack of game time in the last 4 or 5 months or so contribute to what he performs like on the pitch, right? I think that's the main thing. And, you know, looking back, I just I wished that he could have gotten this passport before the last window. I'd have loved him to at least play with the team against Nicaragua and Honduras first before throwing him into the fire of the United States. But again, I just feel like drastic times call for drastic measures, people. And regardless, I would probably start the player. But we'll see in my predicted 11 what I think is going to happen going forward in this game. So just want to big up some people that drop in that I saw. Big up yourself, fan of mine, not respect for dropping in. Duke, big up yourself. I think you've been looking for We Max It Football is here. So yes, if I need to set the date for the big bout, you know, we get the gloves out, and yeah, something popping in the mic, Danny Dread. Really? I wonder if it's if that's when I'm playing the audio or when I'm talking. But to Cataract's credit as well, he has also always been touting Issac Hayden as far back as maybe 3 years ago. That is true. Cataract has been calling for Hayden for a long time, and a lot of players from the diaspora, if we're being fair. So yeah, no kind of slight on you know, his motives or objectives. I just always, when I'm talking, really, I wonder why that is. Let me see. Settings, audio. Yo, check 1 3. Check 1 3. Let me try this. All right, maybe that should help a little bit, Danny. Let me know if it's still going. Let me know if it's still going. So wait, Jason, how are you not talking about Hayden mentioned he wanted to come, but the other manager wasn't interested? Really? I never heard that part. I need to pay better attention.
It is about the players, not about the coaches.
In that last answer?
It's about how old you get. You know, I've still got that love in me. You know, I'm a fighter. You know, I give everything from minute 0 to minute 100 if it's that long. You know, that's always going to be in me. It's never going to leave me. Obviously, as you get older, you learn the game a little bit more. You can read the game a bit better than you do when you're a younger age. But no, the jewels, the physicality, that's still my game. Obviously, on the ball.
Bless up in a Demo. We need some footage. We need some footage, Demo.
I've certainly improved to be a bit more of a controller, but as I said,
Cataract not like me, Leroy Bailey. Man throw beer word for me every time me ever go in any comment section when him depend. Because I'm usually challenge him when him talk foolishness, you know. Because anybody will see me in these programs, them know me as the person who I can bring some kind of facts to the table. So if me say something in the comment section, or if me hear people talk, and me know them not say the right thing, I go correct them. And I don't think he take kindly to that. He get offended and say, I go on like I know everything. And so yeah, I don't really believe that we would ever do any kind of collaboration. But it is what it is, honestly. You know, I'm not really looking to do a collab with him, but you know, more power to him. He asks good question most of the time in the thing as well. So yeah. No, I don't have no issue with him on my end of outside of things. I'm just basing it off of our interactions in the past, you know. Yeah, man, Demo reach, man, him on the ground. Okay, so Corey said he didn't mention anything of the sort. Boy, I said, boy, I saw me bad at listening and comprehending, me not even hear him say that. Now, I have heard that in the past, but I didn't hear him say it in this press conference. That's all. All I want is a sunny day so I can enjoy the game. Yeah, some weather supposed to be passing through, but hopefully it gone. Demo said JGTV correspondent reporting for a duty and some ticket. Yeah, man, some tickets will be given away in due time on this program. You are correct. Rob Smith says a serious show. Him can stay with him there. Yeah, that's a good question, you know. That's a good question. It seems like, you know, people want everybody just make one big show, but different voices are good, man. Believe me, different voices are good. Yeah, man, me nah know nothing against Cataract Big Man. Me nah nothing against nobody in YouTube, to be honest. I mean, this is such a small portion of my life in terms of what I really have going on. I mean, this is something that I do for enjoyment. I enjoy talking about football. And I think that the space kind of needs some more level-headed voices, you know, maybe some so sensational about, you know, I just try to bring my style to the table, and you guys should know by now what my style is. That's just bringing you the factual information and trying to break down the game as best as I know from what I know of the game and how I'm studying right now. So that's really why I started the channel. Yeah, I just enjoy doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm Switzerland. Yeah, you could call me Switzerland because there's why are we beefing about YouTube stuff? Like, it don't make any sense. It's not that serious. You know what I mean? I mean, to some it's serious because I know some people literally this is their life. This is what they do to make money and make a living and things of that nature. Now, if one day YouTube can pay me in that way, great. But that's not really why I started the channel. You know what I'm saying? That will just be added bonus, you know. And if it comes, I'm not gonna say, hey, I don't want the money from YouTube. No, I'm not gonna say that. That's a lie. You know, if everybody in the chat, all 95 of you, dropped a super chat right now, I wouldn't return it. I would say thanks to all of you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but again, I don't think anything that happens on YouTube is worth warring over. It's just, to me, it don't make any sense. If the weather is good, I think the turnout will be massive. So let's hope the weather will pass. You know, Rob, honestly, I think the weather, unless it's just a straight out storm, I don't think the weather's stopping people from coming to the game. I think people are up for this one, Rob, honestly. Yeah, man, him called for Hayden a long time. All right, I am not going to use any more time on the press conference. No disrespect to whoever asks questions, but I see the time steadily going. People in the chat ready. So let's just go ahead. Before we get the tactical pad on screen, I did want to just show really quickly an article that I saw from US Soccer. And this was just basically 5 things to know about Jamaica and the match coming up, right? So I always like to get the perspective of the opposite team and what they're saying. So let's just see from a federation standpoint what they're thinking about this game and what they think they need to look out for against Jamaica in this one. All right. So 5 things to know Jamaica, right? So USMNT will contest its first competitive match under Mauricio Pochettino as it faces Jamaica in a 2-leg CONCACAF Nations League quarterfinal series on the 14th and the 18th of November. The opener at the National Stadium in Kingston begins at 8 p.m. The rematch takes place 4 days later at City Park in St. Louis, Missouri. Kickoff in the Gateway City is at 8 p.m. as well, and tickets are available here, blah, 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 blah. Games will be broadcast. So if you're in the States, people, and you want to know what channel the game is on, it's on TNT, True TV, Universal if you want it in Spanish, also the Max app, Peacock, and Football, the Premiere. So all kind of place the match will be. And that's if you're in the States and you live in the States and you have access to these channels, that's where you can find it. Of course, if you're in Jamaica, I'm sure it will probably be Sportsmax, CVM, TVJ, one of those stations, but I'm not really certain. With qualification already ensured for a home World Cup that's less than 2 years away, competitive opportunities are at a premium for the US men's national team, and there's plenty at stake this month. A triumph in the aggregate goal series against Jamaica would send the Americans to the Nations League Final Four next March in Inglewood, California, where they would have an opportunity to win the competition for a fourth consecutive time. So they are trying to hold on to this title. They're the only team in CONCACAF that has won this title, so I'm sure they don't want to let it go so easily. Crucially, beating Jamaica would also confirm the USA's place at the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup. The biennial 16-team Confederation Championship scheduled next summer for 14 venues in the US and Canada represents the final chance to play competitive matches before the World Cup. If the Americans fall to the Reggae Boyz this month, they'll miss out on the 2025 Nations League finals and face a do-or-die Gold Cup playoff instead. Okay, so I remember we were having this argument when the games were concluded the last time, and I was telling Duclan, yeah, you know, easy, you know, brother. At the name of the station, big man. What you want me to do? Oh, they might fight over credit in the section. Man say me a scout, and we Max take back my flowers, you know, say don't give away his flowers, you know. So to take the flowers, we Max. I don't want no flowers. USA kind of fairway because we are not great, but a team that can cause them problems. Yeah, the overall, you know, to be honest, you know, Fana, I mean, a lot of people say Jamaicans are deluded in their fandom of Jamaica, but I don't know if the USA fans are just too down on their team, but most of the pre-match build-up and talk I've heard from US side of things, NBC Sports, I heard somebody reference earlier, I think it was Rob Smith. I watched the CBS Sports Galazzo people, that's Conrad and my boy, the name Charlie Davies. I saw their commentary on the game, and you know, they're both optimistic. Well, I would say CBS Sports were more confident, but still confidently optimistic. I thought the NBC Sports guys were way more down on the team itself, you know, the missing pieces. They were quite upset with the makeup of the roster in some aspects as well, which I'll talk about. So it's very interesting to hear the different schools of thought based on what team that program is kind of supporting, right? And you know, on the Jamaican side, for the most part, besides probably, you know, we Max It Football and probably Cranky as well, I would say they're a little bit more measured in how they will give you the news. Some other fan bases, it's really about rallying the fan base to just to a euphoric level to feel like, yes, we're gonna do it. You know, I just try to analyze the game, and you know, how it comes off is how it comes off. I don't really, it's not really about making sure that we're ready to cheer on the team. It's about when you're seeing the game and seeing how it's being played, trying to make sense of what might happen in the game. That's my main objective. My boss, see if you can give a shout to the JFF about better security for the supporters, them car that's getting damaged, less, etc. No one will come to the games. That's a very good point, Javari. When this was brought up to the JFF about the last game, they made sure to point out that it was not cars that were actually parked on the stadium compound. They were all in areas away from the stadium, across the street, you know, other private places where you could park your car. So the places that they would have jurisdiction over the cars were safe, is what they were saying. Now, my thing is that parking lot at the stadium, for as long as I've known it, cannot hold all the cars if the stadium is full. So I think they need to do a better job of coordinating with the nearby parking spaces and areas to get security in those areas as well, because there's no way that all the patrons coming to the game can use the main parking lot. It just wouldn't work. It's never worked before. I don't know how it could work now, because I remember parking all about the place to go games at the stadium when I was growing up. I don't believe that that's changed much, because to my knowledge, they haven't added any parking. It's the same parking lot as from what it was before. So unless I'm wrong on that, let me know. But yes, I will definitely bring it up to them. I do have some people that I can talk to inside the JFF. I will definitely hear your concerns to them, and hopefully they don't fall on deaf ears, right? So yeah, let's go back to the article real quick, people. All right, so soccer in Jamaica. Although the Reggae Boyz, oh, sorry, before I move on, I meant to say, so when the last games had ended, we were kind of up. There was a debate over what happens with the teams. Like, is Jamaica qualified for the Gold Cup because they made the quarterfinals? And I was trying to tell everybody that based on what I was reading, only the winners of the quarterfinals get into the group stage. And why it was confusing was, you know, if you've won Group B or League B, if you've won a zone in League B, you get automatically into the Gold Cup. And we were saying, what kind of crap is that? You won a League A group, but you lose a quarterfinal, and the people in the league below you get further than you. That don't make no sense. But that is literally what happened, people. So we will have a Gold Cup playing game. I believe that will take place in March if we don't make the final. So we were kind of wondering what would happen in that March window if we don't make it to the finals. Well, that's what will happen. We'll have some Gold Cup playing matches to play in that March window, and if we get through those, then we'll be in the Gold Cup. But when I think about that, I forget through these games first. But yeah, I just wanted to give some clarity to that. You have to win this game to get into the Gold Cup, or win this tie, two-leg tie. All right, soccer in Jamaica. Although the Reggae Boyz haven't returned to the global stage since their stirring qualification for the '98 FIFA World Cup in France, where they beat Japan in the group stage finale, they've cemented themselves as the premier side in the Caribbean and a consistent CONCACAF contender. Currently ranked 61st by FIFA, good for 6th in CONCACAF, Jamaica was in the 40s from October 2019 through May 2021 and reached consecutive Gold Cup title games in 2015 and 2017. After losing the first to Mexico and the second to the USA, Jamaica rebounded to make the Gold Cup semis in 2019 and 2023. Jamaica was the only Caribbean team to advance to the final round of CONCACAF's World Cup qualifying competition during the 2014 and 2022 cycles. It also qualified for this year's Nations League Final Four, where it claimed bronze and then the Copa America. Highlighted by its 98 World Cup appearance and the 2015 and 17 Gold Cup silver medals, Jamaica's honors list also includes 6 successes in the now defunct Caribbean Cup, which they want to bring back. Not only has Jamaica furnished a host of noteworthy players to MLS, it's also committed to bolstering the national team through the diaspora in the UK. 14 of the 25 men on Jamaica's 2024 Copa America squad were born in England, including the likes of West Ham United's Mikel Antonio and Fulham's Bobby de Cordova-Reid. Sadly, neither of those will be in the first leg of this matchup, and maybe Bobby won't be in the second either. Or Mikel for that matter, because he said we're hoping to get them. We're hoping to get Antonio and Pinnock, so that's still a hope. Fans in the USA will be familiar with MLS Best 11 honorees Andre Blake and Philadelphia Union stalwart, as well as fellow goalkeeper Donovan Ricketts and defender Kamar Lawrence. Only 6 countries, including the USA and Canada, have produced more individual MLS Best 11 replacements than Jamaica's trio combined 6. In addition, forward Dane Kelly, who's been capped by Jamaica 3 times and scored twice, is the USL Championship's all-time leading marksman. Wow, big up Dane Kelly. I didn't know you were all-time. Jamaica's all-time leading international goal scorer remains the late Luton Shelton, who struck 35 times in 75 appearances from 2004 through 2013. The leading active scorer is Shamar Nicholson. The Spartak Moscow forward has 54 caps and 19 goals, 2 against the United States. All right, so here's the history of the 2 teams. Now, we know they've played 33 times, but this is what they said. Although the USMNT has dominated the all-time series between the countries, posting a 20-win, 3-loss, 10-draw record dating back to the first meeting in 1988, the Reggae Boyz have proven to be a tough out in recent years. The USA has been tested repeatedly by Jamaica in official competition over the past decade. From the 2-1 Gold Cup semi-final defeat in Atlanta, I was there, and the nervy 1-1 draw in a November 2021 World Cup qualifier in Kingston to this year's Nations League semi outside Dallas. There on March 21, the Americans needed a 96-minute own goal to reach extra time. Haji Wright's brace then lifted the USA to a 3-1 win and a place in the final. Luckily, the informed Wright, sadly for him, luckily for us, picked up an injury, so he's not in the squad for these games right here. The scoreboard in each of the past 3 matches between the sides has read 1-1 when regulation time expired. So that would be the last qualifier we played in Kingston, the Gold Cup match 1-1 where we missed the penalty in the first half, and then of course the 1-1 extra time game this March just gone. The aforementioned Kingston qualifier 2023, yeah. Okay, so that's exactly what I'm saying. All right, so the USA is on a 5-win, 2-draw run against the Reggae Boyz since losing a friendly 1-0 on June 5, 2019. Shamar scoring a cracker that day. I remember that one. That was in DC, yeah. The US is 13-win, 2-loss, 8 draws against Jamaica in official competition all time, and 1 win in the One Nations League match they have played. The Americans' record in Kingston is 3 wins, 1 loss, and 6 draws. So, the only time that we can say that we've at least not lost the game more than they've beat us is their record at home. So that bodes well for us. The victories coming in friendlies played in 94 and 2003, and the qualifier, of course, that we just talked about in 2013. So, Rob, you were almost right. It was 2013, not 2012. The USA's only win on Jamaican soil in official competition came courtesy of a first-half goal by Jose Altidore, and then, after the hosts equalized in the 89th minute, a stoppage time strike from Seattle Sounders midfielder Brad Evans. I was actually at that game. That was a very tough loss right there. Because we did equalize late and then gave up a goal after that. The USA and Jamaica have met in a 2-game aggregate goal series just once. The sides had never played each other when they were drawn to face off in the second round of 1990 World Cup qualifying competition. The opener in Kingston finished 0-0, and then the second match was tied 1-1, but the USA pulled away and ran out 5-1 winners on the day. Damn, what happened? 1990, that was probably like Anthony Corbett and those guys back then. Paul Davis. The USA's 20 wins over Jamaica are the third most against a single opponent behind Mexico and Trinidad and Tobago. Hold that Trinidad. Them beat no more than we. All right, Jamaica's recent form. So we are 6 wins, 4 losses, 3 draws in 2024 in total. We've slipped slightly from 55th to 61st, as you can see there. So a little bit more. Now, a little bit on the coach. I wanted to read this. Actually, let me not skip over this. So they're just talking about the recent games and stuff. 1-0 win over Panama, or what we did so far in the World Cup qualifiers in June. Yeah. And then, so Shamar leads us with 3 goals in 2024, and Antonio and Dixon have 2 each. So, not really any prolific goal scorers in the team for this calendar year. Shamar leads the way with 3 and a couple and 2. All right, so the head coach now. So this is about McLaren. So on July 31, Jamaica announced the surprising hire of Steve McLaren, the 63-year-old former England manager who never worked outside of Europe apart from a few months consulting in Israel, and hadn't been a head coach since leaving QPR in spring 2019. He most recently worked on Eric Ten Hag's staff at Manchester United and departed Old Trafford to take the Jamaica job. McLaren is Jamaica's 4th European manager of the 2000s, following Bora Milutinovic, Winfried Schaefer, and Hallgrimsson. McLaren initially made his name in coaching circles as an assistant to Alex Ferguson at United, and has managed clubs in England, Netherlands, and Germany over the past 23 years. He led his first club, Middlesbrough, to an EFL Cup in 2004, and then a Cinderella run to the 2006 UEFA Cup final, where they lost to Sevilla. He also won the Dutch Eredivisie title with FC Twente, actually their first and only in history, I think. But McLaren is also connected to that England national team's most recent qualification failure. Hired to succeed Sven-Goran Eriksson following the 2006 World Cup, McLaren endured a rough start to his England tenure, which put qualification for Euro 2008 in jeopardy. 3 straight wins in the fall lifted the Three Lions back into contention, but defeats to Russia and then Croatia, the latter a 3-2 setback at Wembley, sealed their fate. McLaren was fired, and England hasn't missed a major tournament since. McLaren rebounded with success at 20 and subsequently spent time coaching and or consulting at Wolfsburg, Nottingham Forest 20 again, Derby County 3 times, Newcastle United, Maccabi Tel Aviv, QPR, and Manchester United. McLaren and Pochettino opposed each other on an English sideline on December 13, 2015, when McLaren's Newcastle shocked Pochettino's Tottenham 2-1 at White Hart Lane. Hopefully we can get the same tomorrow. Spurs had been on a 14-game unbeaten run in league play while Newcastle was stuck in the relegation zone. But Spanish midfielder Jose Perez lifted McLaren and the Magpies to victory with a stoppage time winner. McLaren was dismissed 3 months later. All right, so the Reggae Boyz roster. So McLaren's Reggae Boyz roster is highlighted by the return of Aston Villa winger Leon Bailey, who hasn't played for the Reggae Boyz since appearing in last year's quarterfinals a year ago. A falling out with Hallgrimsson and the Jamaica Federation prompted Bailey to withdraw from national team consideration, and he missed this year's World Cup qualifiers and Copa America. He then suffered an injury as McLaren took the reins, but Bailey is finally back in the fold. He has 5 goals in 30 career international matches and also has tallied 3 assists in 15 appearances this season for Villa. The squad features 12 men who play their club ball in England, led by Bailey and Antonio. The English cohort also features Newcastle midfielder Issac Hayden, an Essex native and Arsenal youth product who represented England from the U16 through U21 levels. Hayden, 29, has a Jamaican father and switched his international allegiance to the Reggae Boyz while being left off the Premier League roster at St. James Park. He spent the spring of 2024 on loan to Queen's Park Rangers. There are 5 Reggae Boyz who play in MLS or the USL Championship. Blake, of course, he's just yielded 1 goal in 4 games. Nicholson, Reggae Boyz leading scorer, has 4 goals in 11 matches for Sparta this season. Defender Damian Lowe, the roster's most experienced field player, will be familiar to fans in the US as a former member of the Sounders, Minnesota United, Tampa Bay Rowdies, Phoenix Rising, Inter Miami, and Philadelphia Union. He's now at Al Oqdoud, which is in 14th place in the Saudi Pro League. Bobby De Cordova-Reid is a notable omission. The Leicester City winger has played 9 times for Jamaica in 2024, but missed the Foxes' past 2 matches with an injury. So, they don't know about the berth clearly, but this is the detailed Jamaica roster by position. Love how they put out the squad here. I would like for the Reggae Boyz, or the JFF, I should say, to do the same when they put out squads, if they don't mind. Put the Players Club and also put the caps and the goals. I think that's a nice touch when you're putting out the squads. You can take my advice if you want, but I like the fact that they do that. So you get a little bit more information from this list that US Soccer put out than even the JFF's list, because it's giving you the caps, the goals of each player, which is very nice, right? So you can see all the amount of games played, the experience in the squad or lack of it, right, in certain areas. But yeah, that is the squad that they put out, and that was just a little write-up of, what they think that the US fan base should know about this Reggae Boyz team. So I thought that was interesting to go through before we get the tactics up on the screen. All right. I know I've probably missed quite a bit in the comment section, but we shall see. So he will not accept defeat. The article is wrong. All right, Rob Smith. I actually tend to believe you over them, to be honest, because we just had this type of conversation the other day and I was doubting you, and you were indeed right, and I had to tell you after the fact that you were right. Let me see how far back this thing goes. 2012, you say, right? You're right. September the or is that July? Yeah, September the 7th, 2012. They don't really have the goal scorers, but I'm pretty sure this is the game that we won 2-1. Because when we played them again in the next round, the Hex round, we played them at home, we didn't win. So it must have been that game. This is the game that I was at, the 2013 game. We lost 2-1. We equalized late and then give up a goal in injury time to lose. I wanted it hot. All right, so let's get the tactical pad up and gunning. And then we're going to close the show off with some giveaways of the tickets that I have left. All right. The record between both teams is 33 matches played, 20 wins for the US, 3 wins for Jamaica, and 10 draws. Yeah. You're waiting to hear how Jamaica will beat USA. Yeah, man, that is right now. All right. So before the last thing I want to do, since we just looked at Jamaica's squad, let me show you guys one last time the US roster, right? So the goalkeepers, Diego Koshen, Patrick Schulte, Zach Steffen, and Matt Turner. Koshen, I think, is really there to get some exposure. Young keeper, he's with the Barcelona Academy right now. Schulte, Steffen, and Turner, I believe, would be the three people that are actually traveling to the game. I don't believe Koshen will travel, but let's see. Then defenders, you have Mark McKenzie, Tim Ream, Chris Richards, Anthony Robinson, Miles Robinson, Joe Scally, and Austin Trusty. Now, the thing that jumped out to me of this defenders list, there are really only two recognized fullbacks in this squad, and that would be Joe Scally at the right back and Miles Robinson at left back. You know, Miles can play both, and so can Scally, actually. So they kind of have some cover both areas there, but they are really the only two tried and trusted fullbacks. Now, you know, when asked about this in the press conference yesterday, Pochettino did say that if you look at some of the way that football is moving currently, you know, a lot of teams, and he referenced Manchester City and Arsenal as two teams that employ this type of thing where, you know, they have center backs that can operate as fullbacks. You know, and he also mentioned Tim Ream by name, saying that, you know, his club team used him as a left back the day before, or, you know, his previous match. So that's something that the team will be looking at, or the coaching staff will be looking at as well. I have some other ideas as to why they only went with the two, and I'll kind of get going with that once we get the tactical pad on the screen, because I think they kind of have a way that I saw them build out. And it kind of tweaks a little bit. So I kind of understand why he would go for more center backs in the way that they're going to play. And I'll explain that in a minute. Midfielders, I think this is where they just dominate us. They have much better options in midfield. So they have Brendan Aronson, Gianluca Busio, who's been playing really well in Serie A. Gianni Cardoso last week won man of the match. I think he has had some really good performances lately for Real Betis in La Liga. Then you have Weston McKennie, Juventus. Aiden Morris playing really well in the championship for Middlesbrough. Yunus Musa recently got the scalp of Real Madrid in the Champions League, playing really well for Milan lately as well. Tanner Tessman, captain of the US Olympic team in Paris. I thought he was really impressive in that Olympics as well. And he secured a move after that showing in Paris over to France, and he's now playing for Lyon, and recently has seen a big uptick in his minutes as well. So Tanner Tessman, for me, an outside shot to get some good minutes in these two games. And then Malik Thielman, who you probably would know from the last time we were going to face them, had a statement to make in a Champions League interview, and everybody was saying how he was disrespecting Jamaica. Well, you know, the US fans might not be so high on him because he hasn't yet to really put a big performance in the US jersey, but just watching the kid play this season, his confidence seems to have gone to another level, and he's definitely taking over games for PSV, not only in the Eredivisie, which he's always pretty much done really well in, but also it's translating over to the European game now, as I've seen some dominant performance from him in the Champions League. Then the forwards, this is where I think a lot of the US fan base, the defense and the forwards were where I heard a lot of the pushback from the fan base and the analysts of the team. Cade Cowell called up from Liga MX recently, moved over there. Probably the big surprise for me of this roster. You know, just a bit surprised that he made this roster, honestly. I know they had some last second things. I think he's probably a direct replacement for Haji Wright, to be honest. Cade Cowell, I don't think Cade Cowell probably would have been there if Haji was fit. That's just my thinking on that. And then we have Ricardo Pepi also at PSV with Tillman, not getting, you know, the regular minutes that he maybe would have wanted, but, you know, you have to understand that they have some very high quality players there in front of him. And Pochettino said as such in his press conference when asked about Pepi, but he also said that he expects this to be a huge opportunity for him with the likes of Balogun, Sargent, and Haji Wright not in the squad. Then you have Christian Pulisic, arguably one of the most informed players in all of world football currently. He's really been carrying AC Milan this season. He's had a lot of injuries around him and stuff. He's been the one main constant there. And, you know, Leao hasn't been pulling his weight like he should. And Christian Pulisic has stepped up big time. So, you know, we have seen Pulisic perform when he isn't even doing much for his clubs in the past. And now there's the added bonus of him being like in top form. So we're going to have a lot of things to worry about as far as Pulisic is concerned. So, yeah, big asterisk by him. We have to watch him. He's on form. It's going to be tough. Brandon Vasquez, another player that I think Pochettino likes him right now in this squad because he offers something different. Pepe, even though he's a side striker, I think Pepe is really much better running in behind the defense. I don't know if he's really developed that hold-up play yet for such a big player. I think Vasquez is somebody that definitely that's what he adds. Back to goal, prototypical number 9. But then he has the athleticism to run in the channels as well. So he's versatile, but I do think his main strength and why he's in this team is his ability to hold the ball up, be that focal point. And, with the US having those kind of wing/attacking midfielders running off of him, the likes of Pulisic, Tillman, Aronson, players like this, I think his skill set might suit some of the attackers that are playing with him a little bit more than even a Pepe. So it's going to be interesting to see what he goes with there. Does he go with Pepe, who maybe has a little bit more experience at this level, especially against Jamaica at that? Or does he go with Vasquez, who I think might fit the system he wants to play a little bit better on the day? So let's see. Tim Weah, we know that he'll be there for the second game. He's not available due to suspension for the first. And I think that's honestly why Alejandro Zendejas was called up as a 25th player. Probably so that he can have the traveling unit going to Jamaica. They know they probably won't take Tim Weah. He even said as such that he'll stay back and work with the sports science people just to get ready for the second leg. So I think Zendejas is there as cover since Weah cannot go to Jamaica. All right, so that's my breakdown of their team and what I think. And now let's finally why I sound like I don't want to say Pooley is the best. I mean, he's playing the best right now. He's playing really good. Really good. Yeah, it's high standards for the roster. I'm just surprised that he's there. I mean, he's a player that I think will grow into a very good player, but I don't know if right now I would call him. I mean, they have other players I would have maybe called before him, but that's what they went with, and I think he does fit what Pochettino wants to do. He's an all-action type of striker, and you know that Pochettino don't ramp to press teams. So, yeah, I think his skill set fits, but I just feel like, they might have even had other players that could even do his job and give you a little bit more on the technical side. That's just my thoughts on it with Cade. So let's get the tactical pad on the board, what we've all been waiting for. Have both squads loaded into the system. So let's see. All right, let's make sure we have this the right way. Okay, I'm gonna put myself down here. Actually, no, I will switch that. All right, yeah, let's go up here. All right, so this is the tactical pad, people. As of right now, it's empty. We don't have nobody on the screen. So what we're going to do, we're going to put what I think will be the USA squad first, and then I will counter that with what I think should be the Jamaica squad, right? So this is, I shouldn't have even called it predicted. I should have just said, well, it is predicted for the US side, right? But I'm going to tell you what I think they're going to do, and I'm going to tell you what I think can combat what they're going to do. All right, so let's get this up and going. Let's get the USA squad under here. All right, so in goal for me, well, first and foremost, right, I believe that the USA, I won't even put a system on the screen. Let's just put the players on the field. So Matt Turner, I believe he's going to get the nod. Most experience of the lot. Definitely the one that's been starting the most lately. So I'm going to say Matt Turner will keep his place and get into the goal. Now, for me, I think that Pochettino is a very modern coach, a lot of modern ideas and tactics. And he's definitely a coach that has systems where he's going to have two different systems and setups based on what's happening. He's going to have a in defense, basically formation, and a build out in possession formation. So for the purpose of the exercise of putting an 11 on the screen, I'm going to show you what it's going to look like when they're defending. All right. So this is what I think he's going to do. Now, I was grappling with the idea of him starting Chris Richards as his right back. I don't believe he's going to do that based on lack of game fitness. I think Scally will get the nod because he's been playing a bit more in the Bundesliga. Richards just now coming back to full fitness, finally making benches again for Palace, but not quite getting the game time. So I don't think he's going to quite rush him into the starting lineup. We'll expect him to maybe come on in the game at some point just to try to get the fitness to potentially maybe start the second game. But I think in this first one, he'll probably go with Scally. I think Mark McKenzie was probably their most effective defender in the last window that I saw them play against Mexico and Panama. So I'm going to say due to that and also his club form lately, excuse me, I'm going to go with Mark McKenzie as the center back. Now, people are probably going to be surprised with this choice as his partner in the back line. Some would say maybe he could go with Miles Robinson, who we know has gotten the nod a lot of times for this US team. Had a decent season as well in the MLS. Maybe not as good as some of his years past, but still solid. Ream recently left England and went back to the MLS. And I think that Tim Ream is going to play this left center back role in this game. Now, part of the reason why I think it's going to be the case, it will make more sense perhaps when I show you guys what it's going to look like when they're in possession of the football, okay? So that's the first three. And of course, this player, I think, picks himself at this point. Probably their second most informed player in the entire team, arguably. Some might say Tillman is a little bit higher than him, or even Musa. But Anthony Robinson, for me, moving up the ranks year to year as one of the best left backs in England. Definitely one with the highest energy levels in England. And I think his actual technical ability has improved over the years as well. At one point, I didn't really rate him so much going forward, at least in the sense of accuracy of his crossing and passing and final passes. I think that's something that has increased about tenfold in the last couple of seasons. And we're seeing him rack up more and more assists as he improves that part of his game. So that to me is going to be the goalkeeper and the back four. Let me see if anybody has any comments. Read that right now. Demo says best left back in the world right now. I wouldn't go so far, Demo, but he's definitely, I think he's gone up to another tier in terms of world footballers. Just how consistent he's been in the last, I'd say probably 2 seasons and the start of this one. He's been very, very consistent. Yeah, very, very consistent. So that's my goalkeeper and back four. Omar Fowling, that's not, believe me, I would love to talk some Manning Cup. My team got a big win against Excelsior yesterday, but yeah, not the show for that, Omar. But yes, they did lose to Tivoli Gardens 3-1 yesterday. So I was waiting to hear the post-match to hear what Butler had to say. I mean, when Veer lost to Cavalier the other day, he had a lot of things to say in the way of excuses. So I was just hoping that he wouldn't make any excuses for that. So if they have all the best, this and that, how the hell we're going to win? Well, we have some good, We have tell you 2 left backs better right now. Okay. I would say right now, I would probably still put Theo Hernandez ahead of him. I know he's been up and down this year with fitness, but I mean, I think his defending has improved from one time, and I think going forward, he's just incredible. I guess when you say right now, it's tough because most of the people I'm thinking about, the Davies of the world, Theo Hernandez, Ferland Mendy been off form this season. So yeah, when you factor in form, it's tough. I mean, he might very well be right up there. Yeah, he might be right up there. I wouldn't put him over Vardiol though, to be honest. So I wouldn't say he's the best in the world. But yeah, I mean, I'm having to think. So he's in the conversation because I'm having to think, like really think. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I put Balde from Barca over him. I don't know if I do. Coco Juice outside the door waiting. Kirkis has been good. Dini has been good as well, but has he been better than Robinson? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's a good one, We need to we need to start doing some best in the world videos, you know. Yeah, man, that should be a good segment to start out. A nice program that we can run, you know, from time to time, different positions around the world. Yeah, man, that's a nice program. If you're talking on form, maybe man is in the French team. Yeah, he's back in the French team now. So, you know, he had a little while where he wasn't getting called, which I thought was kind of strange because I thought he's been doing really well for Villa for a little longer than the call-up came. All right, so for me, I think that because they play a certain way in possession, I think out of possession is going to look like this. So I don't believe that McKennie is going to be thrust into a single pivot role or even a double pivot role. I think he's going to more so play the midfield like this out of possession. So it's going to be McKennie. I think he'll play more on the left side. I think Musa will play on this right side. Right. And I think the key right now is who's that 6. Now, of course, Tyler Adams not fit enough to be there. So there's a couple of options that I think you can go with. Now, he has the technical options, right? Busio and Johnny. We've seen them play kind of deeper in US systems before. You also have the likes of Hayden Morris, who could also get the nod. You know, we've seen him play. But I think, honestly, it's going to come down to these 3 players for this third spot in midfield when you're talking about Tessman, Johnny, and Busio. Now, there's a school of thought that says, since there's no Weah in this game, and he mentioned it, that he saw him playing a right wing-backish type of role, do we have Musa playing a more advanced role, right? Not necessarily a winger, but just as a right-sided 10 in this system that I think they're going to employ. Because I do think that it's going to be more of a 3 in midfield. And I think he's going to surprise some folks maybe, because I think he's going to want the steal of Tessman in there. So I'm going to say Taylor Tessman, who many might not know, but as I said, I covered the Olympic football stuff and I was impressed with the player. I thought he had all the US-like midfield attributes of work, but then he just looked a little more technical than the normal US midfielder. And see, he's gone to Leon in a very technical system and playing. So I think he might get the nod in this one because he's going to give you both. Because I think he wants that technicality in this position, you know. But I think he also knows that in this Jamaica fixture, where the pitch might be a little bit dodgy and it might get a little bit, you know, physical in there, he's going to want to be able to have that physicality in there. So I think that's why he's going to go for Tessman over the likes of Busio in this fixture. And also Johnny might struggle as well with his technical nature. So I think he might actually not play Musa wide and go with the ruggedness and the physicality of a McKenna, Musa, Tessman midfield. I think that's what he might go with in this game, people. I'm being honest with you. Now, as far as the forward line goes, I think there's some decisions to be made. One of them makes itself. The number 10, Pulisic, he'll be out here on this left side. And he'll be, I think it will be a little bit of a narrower system for the wingers in this one. And you'll probably get the width on this left side, which I'll show you as I put the Jamaica team on the screen as well. Robinson will provide the width on this side, and it will become a back 3. Scally will sit at home, and Musa will kind of cover that right-hand space as well. I think he's going to go for, it's going to be between Pepe and Vasquez for me to start up top. It's an interesting one because I think Ricardo Pepe has been such a dangerous player off of the USA bench for them lately that he might not want to take that role away from him. I think he might go with Vasquez, you know. I think he might start Brandon Vasquez up front because I'm thinking that he's going to want that back to goal forward. You know, he's probably going into this match thinking Jamaica is probably not going to really sit so high up the pitch. They're probably going to fall into some kind of block, especially when the possession on the US side is sustained. So I'm thinking he's going to want that target point, focal point. As I said, Pepe really kind of thrives late arriving in the box, running in behind. If the space isn't there to run in behind, is he as effective? I'm not sure. So for me, just based on how I think they're going to want to play this match, I think that that's what it's going to look like. And I think the player that he's going to go with on the other side in this dual 10 system, I was going to say Tillman, but I think because of the pressing nature of this player, I just have a feeling like he's going to start Brandon Aronson, you know. I just think he's going to start Brandon Aronson. Maybe a little more familiar with the opponent as well. A little more history in CONCACAF, traveling away from home, playing games. So, you know, I think that's what he's going to go with. Now, that kind of goes against the Testman start, but I think the Testman start has more to do with how I see him as a player, and I think his skill set might suit the task at hand for the US. So for me, this will be what the USA starting 11 could and just might look like. He's going to go for a little bit more experience in CONCACAF with the likes of Aronson over the likes of a Tillman. He's going to go with a little bit more physicality in midfield with the likes of a Testman over Busio or Johnny. And he's going to light the legs of McKennie and Musa flanking Testman. Testman will sit a little bit deeper, while Musa and McKennie will have a lot more freedom when they're attacking. All right, so that is my lineup as far as the US is concerned. Now, let's switch over to the Jamaica side of things. But before I do that, let me check in with the comment section and see what you guys thinking, following along with the chat. All right. Just say 115 watching, you're moving up. Yeah, it's Jamaica Reggae Boyz time. So the people, them, you know, them really want it, you know. Johnny, the better player. Agreed. I think sometimes, though, where we fail to analyze things sometimes as fans, we just look at the players and say, this player better than that player. But the players have to fit into whatever the coach wants. And for me, the way that what's going to be required in this game, I think the coach will be looking at Testman's ability to break up play and regard that as a higher, you know, something that he needs more than perhaps the better technicality of a Johnny or a Busio in that central area. The pitch is not the best to work with. So as much technicality as you want to put on the field, you might be, the pitch can beat you in that regard. You might not get the ability to pass the ball like you like. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah, Weah is out for the first game. Tell Pulisic. No, I don't want the moving forward for the low block. And the reason for that is I don't believe that pulling a low block into the channels, that stuff will come from the players around that forward, that focal point forward. So if it's a low block there, right, I want that person to occupy that low block. Whereas, and then the people can run off of him. So you have the likes of Van Aronson, Pulisic, McKennie from deep, Musa from deep, Robinson bombing down the left. That's where you're going to get that extra movement off of that focal point striker. For me, that's what I think will going to work better for them against that low block. Not necessarily a Pepe who's going to look for spaces in behind that might not be there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm thinking that way. Yeah, so I've seen different things, Coris. I've seen different things, Coris. So I've seen some going for Pepe, some going for Vasquez, but basically those are the two that I've seen. And again, the reason why I think he's gonna go more for the Vasquez one is I think he's gonna want to occupy that deep block, you know, pull those center backs to a focal point. I don't think he's going to want them to be passing off to space. Vasquez is just that kind of player that will stay there, right? What happened when you don't have the creator? Okay, so I think that Pulisic is a much better creator than maybe even the world gives him credit for. If you look at him for Milan, he's doing everything: creating, assisting, finishing, crossing. So I don't think there's anything in the attacking sense that Pulisic can't do. So I think they're going to rely heavily on the likes of Pulisic, McKennie, Musa, Aronson to create. And I think they're going to create by moving more so than just actual creativity on the ball, because they're going to have to. I don't think they have so many creators in this team. So it's going to have to be a system-based creation. And I think the way that they unlock some of these players is combining with Vasquez back to goal to create spaces and overloads in certain areas. That's what I think is going to work for them the best, personally. But anyway, let's move on now, since we have talked about the US's tactics and what I think they might do. And I'm going to delve into it a little more once I get Jamaica's team on the screen. But make sure you guys are smashing the like button. We have over 100 of you in the comments right now, in the chat right now. So yes, we should be flying past the 100 likes. We're at 79 people. Come on. Get me to the 100 likes, people. And we're going to pick this Jamaican team right now, people. All right? So get me to the 100 likes. First player, no doubt. We're going to put Andre Blake in the goal, people. Now, I think the first thing we have to discuss, what is the best formation to face this USA team, people? What is the best formation to face this USA team? We played them the last time in a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2, right? When we played them, we didn't quite have the same personnel. You know, maybe we went that way due to some omissions. I think the coach just went that way because he thought it was the best thing to do. I think if you had every player, this would have still gone with that system. The question is, though, is this a system that McLaren will want to go with? That is the big question. So obviously the team news that we got from the press conference, no Ethan Pinnock, right? We didn't know. We knew, but people didn't want to believe. But it's out there now. Everybody knows. It's out there. Everybody knows, right? So Ethan Pinnock is out. Does that change your mindset as far as the formation? Do you think that we need to put the more bodies around there because we don't have Pinnock? You know, some was even arguing with Pinnock we would play a back five. You know, for me, I think because we were so close to beating them the last time, and even though the shot disparity was great, the possession disparity was great, I think we limited them in the big chance category very well. And I think a part of that was just due to the comfort that certain players had playing in the three-back system. I think also, when you look at who played in that game the last time, when you look at who played the last time, let me just stop sharing this for just a moment because I want to pull up the previous game we faced them, right? So let me go to Sofa, Jamaica. All right, and let's find that US game so we can look at how it's played in that fixture, right? So this was the last time we faced them. Fix this. All right, so this was the last time we faced them. And, you know, it's a similar situation. We didn't have Ethan as well. We don't have Hector this time, but we went with the 3-4-3. I don't even think this is really what it was. I think it was more of a 3-5-2 with Jamal Lowe and Cephas up front. And they kind of just split, you know, as you know, central, well, inside forwards or whatever, and they had the license to drift wide at times. But, you know, Bobby Reid was definitely in the midfield this day with Palmer and Damian Lowe. Then we had Lee and Dexter as the, you know, right wing backs, left wing back type of thing. Then you had Deshaun, Hector, and Latibo there. Now, the personnel has changed slightly, right? So there's no Bobby for this game. There's no Jamal Lowe. There's no Hector. Everybody else would have been there and available. On the bench that day, you know, Karai was there. Tavon is there now. Kaheem Dixon, Romario is there. Richard King. So a lot of these players are back. And we also have the addition of Isaac Hayden and Mason Holgate to the setup. So personally, I think we'd be best going back with the 3-5-2. Now, of course, for long periods of this match, I think it's going to look more like a 5-3-2 or even a 5-4-1. But I would probably go for that. So let me get the tactical pad back up so I can show you what I think the personnel needs to look like to get the best out of this team and to get the best against this US lineup. All right. So I'm going to say in the back line, we're going to drop Deshaun Bernard into it. All right. And I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to place him just yet, but I'll tell you that we're going to work with Holgate, Bernard, and Damian Lowe as our center backs. I'll probably say I'll stick Mason into the middle of the three. Don't want to pressure Damian by putting him on the left, so we'll keep him on the right side of that back line. Now, at left wing back for me, I think Greg Lee will get the nod. I think due to Amari just coming back, maybe the coach would want to use him off the bench if he's gonna get some game time in this first game. Or put it this way, I wouldn't pressure Amari Bell in that left wing back role where it's gonna be a little bit more running up and down. If that's gonna be the case, I'd rather Greg play there. If Amari is gonna start, I'd rather drop him where I have Bernard right now. Which is a possibility as well. But I'm going to say he's probably going to hold off on starting both of them and play one of them if he goes with this system. So I'm going to say Greg Lee on this left-hand side. And on the right wing back area, I'm going to say Tavon Gray will play over there. I think this actually suits him a bit more based on how he's been playing this season for his club. Has been playing in a back four sometimes, but also at times plays in this right midfield / right wing back role. So I'm going to say Tavon Gray and Greg Lee actually might be better off with the extra cover to their inside and in this, right center back and left center back channel. I think that might help out there. Then we move into the midfield, and obviously the big question is, does Issac Hayden jump right into the team with no game time, right? Does that happen? I'm not sure. I will wait for the prediction. I'm going to give my prediction in the build-up to the game tomorrow on the watch-along. Yes, yeah, I will wait. I will wait. I will wait. Yeah, agreed. Greg is performing better. Agreed, Bell is fit, but I think we can work him into the game. And as I said, if I'm going to start Amari Bell, I would have to think about putting him in the 3 in the center backs, because I think that will, he won't have to overexert himself as much as Greg Lee will have to, or if we put him where Greg Lee is. Because again, we're going to want attack and defense from Gray and Lee, which means more running up and down the flank. I'd rather him play similar role to what he plays at Luton, which is that left center back of the 3 role, if he's going to start. Yes, I got the message that VAR will be used in the game. This is it. That is good news, right? Well, we'll see. We don't know if it's good news yet. We'll see. It might be bad news based on what happens in the game. 100% Isaac starts, says know yourself. Why the coach bring him when him hardly play at him club? Coach must know that him fit into the call-up. Okay. And Max, it said Greg is actually a better fit for the situation, people. Believe me. All right. So that would be my back 5, right? That would be my back 5 there. I'm kind of wondering, people, do you prefer Bernard left, or would you want him in the middle instead of Holgate? Because that's kind of, yeah, we got that news today. JFF posted it on the Instagram that the 4th official will be VAR. Yeah, so that's good news. So let me know, people. You like Holgate in the middle of the 3, or would you switch him with Bernard? Because I think Damian Lowe will be on the right side of it. Yeah, I think he'll be on the right side of it. Yeah, I've always liked Belmore as a player, but I just think fitness-wise and maybe even the system that we're going to play, Lee, he's more comfortable in that left wing-back role to me if this is what we're gonna play, then I would say, yeah, I was thinking that, you know, to just play the left center back as Amari, you know, and just pick between Bernard and Holgate, but at the same time, yeah, Bernard's the only one that can play left. Yeah, I don't even know if I would want to, you know, put Holgate on the left either. So yeah, for me, I would say this is probably how I would do it if this is gonna be the 5 people. Holgate in the center, low right, and Bernard left. Yeah. All right, so that is the back line that I would like to see tomorrow. Now moving into the midfield people. So this is the tough one, right? When you have a system like this, typically, you know, you want to still have a good amount of cover inside the midfield area. So obviously, when we have a little more possession, these players will push a bit more, right? And then I would like to still have another 2 players kind of in this double pivot CM type of area, right? So I don't think that Joel will be moved out of that spot. I think he'll be right back there again. Trying to think if there's a side that I prefer him on. I'd probably have him more on this left side, right? And on this right side, people, I'm doing it. I'm going to get as much as I can out of the player. I don't think he'll be able to play 90 minutes. In fact, I'm sure that he can't play 90 minutes. But I'll take 60 or 65 of him. It goes against all my morals. But I'm looking at this midfield people, and I don't see where you can do something different than this. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see it. So that's how I would go right there. Basically, that's how I would go. Yeah. So I think what I would do now from here, people have not really, I haven't seen anybody really call for this, but I would say Leon will start, right? And he's going to play. I think they're going to, when we're defending, they're going to be a little bit narrower, right? And I'm going to say Casey Palmer is going to play this other role right here. So it's almost like what the US is doing on the other side with kind of dual 10s. Now, of course, they'll have the option to go wider, stay in the half space, go wider, stay in the half space. But of the 2, I want Palmer to really occupy the half space more. Bailey will have a little bit more freedom to go over here if he'd like. And then up front, I'm going to go with Shamar Nicholson. So that would be my starting 11 people for tomorrow's game. The reason why I'm going with these people, I think, you know, at any given time, you know, Bailey's going to do what he does, right? He's going to, I need him to track, but not as far, right? Palmer, comfortable dropping, creating another body in the midfield when we're out of possession. That's a part of the reason why I'm going with him as opposed to the likes of a Damari Gray, Tyreek McGee, Cephas, a lot of these players that I've seen a lot of predicted 11s going around have. I am going with something that I think, you know, he mentioned adaptability. He mentioned taking care of the ball better. I think this right here would give us a much better chance of having pockets of possession that are going to be crucial. I think we had 22% possession the last time we played them. I repeat, 22% possession the last time we played them. So part of the reason why I'm going with another ball handler in behind Nicholson as opposed to another wing forward to cause problems in terms of pace and things of that nature. That will come, people. I want to have the likes of a Cephas, right? The likes of a Damari who's not fit enough to play from start. I know right now. Bring him on later. Perhaps we can get more joy out of them when the game is a little more stretched towards the end. But to me, having this compact of a team to start is the way to go. People automatically assume with the back 5 that it means you're going defensive. That is the biggest That couldn't be further from the truth. It just depends on how you go about using the system. Now you see right away in possession, I've already moved Tavon Gray and Lee up the pitch, so they're no longer in a 5, it's now a 3, and that's basically how you get more bodies into the attack. But what it does for me, you know, even when those players are gone, playing Hayden and Joel, and you tell them, listen, I don't care where the ball is, I will rely on these 5 players to attack. Literally, these 5. I want to have this 5 always somewhere near. I want these 2 close to these 3, no matter what's going on. I don't want none of them to go, you know, I don't want the space to get too wide in between these players at all. I think when we're attacking, I'm totally fine with this right here. This, you know, these 2 that are playing wide going to have to do a lot of work. I understand that. But hey, we have people in reserve. We have Dexter waiting. We have Amari Bell there waiting as well. So if we need to make the subs, we make the subs. But, you know, 2 of the most crucial roles for me is going to be Gray and Lee, because they're going to have to supply some width in attack. To a lesser extent, probably Greg Lee. To a lesser extent, Tavon Gray. I think he will probably be the one that's going to sit a bit more, because we're going to have always that threat of this left side, because I think he's going to try to play these 3 players close to each other, McKinney, Pulisic, and Robinson. So that's going to be something we need to worry about. And of course, we have Bailey on this side, who has improved defensively, but we know that's not really his forte, right? So even if he doesn't track, that's a part of the reason why I have Issac on this side. I think Issac covers the ground a little bit better than Joel. So if Hayden does have to kind of take up a bit more slack on this side, because it's the side Bailey is on, I trust his legs to be able to do it a little bit more than Joel. Joel, I want him to remain much more of an anchor and kind of just be there, you know, just to sniff out anything in the half space when they're attacking us. But I think this right here gives us the best balance. You know, some might say we don't have enough width, but again, I think the width is going to have to come from the wing backs and also Bailey on the right, because when we're in possession, I do want Bailey to kind of occupy Robinson deeper over here somewhere. And as I said, since Palmer is comfortable dropping into half spaces and dropping even deeper, you know, Greg Lee can push, and it kind of slides the umbrella a bit to the left out of possession, where we still have some kind of stability. Again, I don't need Tavon to go overlapping unless it's just obvious that he needs to go and do so. He needs to be a lot smarter with what he does. I think Greg has a little more freedom just due to the way I've set up the left-hand side of this team. All right, so, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. You know, I think that is a way where we can kind of make sure that we're solid in all aspects of the game, no matter who has the ball, what's going on in transition phases. And let's not put too much on players that we know can't handle it. So again, we need to figure out this left-hand side. If Bailey's going to play on the right, you know, we need to tell Issac, listen, you know, Bailey is probably going to be up in attack sometimes when they transition. So, you know, obviously your first priority is to shield the back 3, but also pay close attention to Tavon and Pulisic and what's going on between these 3 players on this left-hand side, McKinney, Pulisic, and Robinson for the US. So it's going to be a cat and mouse thing. Obviously, that's how football is. But again, that's how I see us being able to somewhat stay in this football match. Put the technical players out there to start the game. Even if you sacrifice some speed in the wings and things of that nature, I don't think it's going to be a super transition game. I think it's going to be USA in possession for the most of the time, trying to break us down, and we're going to try to counter-attack. Now, some would say, okay, so if we're going to play a counter-attacking game, where's my speed on the wings, right? And I'm telling you, people, when we're out of position at times, Nicholson will drag, Bailey will drag. That's where the width will come from to begin with. But really and truly, I just need these players right here, Lee, and to a lesser extent, Gray. Lee definitely on this left side to provide that width in counter opportunities, and definitely Bailey. I want him to, you know, occupy Robinson out here. Make sure that Robinson is a left back and not a left winger for the entire damn fixture. All right, so that is what I think we can do to kind of combat what the USA is going to bring. All right, people. All right, so let's see what people thinking about how I have this set up. All right, so Duke want Holgate on the bench. Hero say Holgate. I would play Bell as the LCB, get a left foot player in. Lee Young say Hayden will start. And he want to bet people. So somebody bet him that Hayden will start. However, the back three of Lowe, Bernard, and Bell. So people look like they're agreeing with the system, but not necessarily the personnel, which is okay. Sheikah saying Lembe over Gray. But he never wanted to make the same squad as the prediction king, but he could put Bell. I gave permission. I never even see a squad, JD. When you were doing your squad, I turned off the program. I joke, me see it. So we have a similar system, kinda. I think you went with a 3-5-2 though, right? So you went a little different system or formation wise, I should say. And I think the personnel is different too. We don't have the same team, I don't think. I don't remember, to be honest, what your team was. But yeah, this is what I'm gonna say. I'll predict. As a matter of fact, I want to actually save this, you know. Menu save. I want to save it. So let's call it Jamaica versus USA first leg. All right, so that's saved. Nice. Home game attacking where I go. Sheikah, this is just the first half, Sheikah. You don't have to shoot all your bullets today. We need to make sure we stay in the tie. Keep it low scoring as well. Away goal. You can hunt the goal them away. That is an advantage. And it ain't like we've been, you know, the greatest at home. You know what I'm saying? Joel play midfield his last game at him club. That's where him play. Okay. Only Bernard and Bell. Low don't play left at all. So Jason want to know where the creativity coming from. Okay, so the creativity is coming from Palmer and Bailey. That's it. How much creativity we need on the field? We're barely going to have the ball. Remember, we had 22% possession the last time, you know. I don't think it's going to be 22, but it ain't going to be much past 35. I mean, I'm sad to tell you. I mean, they just have better technical players that will keep the ball better than us. And their pressing is ridiculous. So, you know, all them little possession we're getting against Honduras and Cuba and Damrep because they don't press like how USA press. That ain't happening. So, yeah, you can load up the feet team with creative players. What I'm going to do? Create. When them going creative, them don't have the ball. You know what I'm saying? Lati should be playing with Hayden Palmer at 10. But Bobby reading another player with defensive skills in the mid with Lati. Some reggae dancer said, Bailey, make sure you play good. No, I'm not starting Demi in this game. If he was 100 playing, I would. But I just going to give him a cameo. Because I don't think he has the legs. And I'm already playing a player that I don't think has the legs for 19, Hayden. So I don't want to load up the team with too many players I can't expect to play 90, you know? And I just feel like Demi might make more sense when the game get a little bit more stretched in the second half of this one, you know? That's my thinking behind it. Bring on a fresh Demi 65, 70 minutes in and see if him can give it that boost off of the bench. Yeah, the Palmer there is just an extra body in midfield. When we're out of possession, somebody that's comfortable dropping into the half space, making it a nice solid 3 in front of the back 3 and the back 5. Yeah, that's my thinking there. A player that won't mind doing that role. You know what I'm saying? So him say him are the big coach because him asks one question. No, Saja asks a question and he's the big coach. I don't get it. Little braver than expected. Christine say I'm overthinking. Well, perhaps so, but I would like my coach to think. Maybe not overthink, but he needs to think. Boy, I don't know, but I trust Lembikisa more. Put away fitness. Okay, they say now in a care about the fitness, you just trust him more. Put Hayden on the right. His knee is not good. Oh, put Hayden on the left. Well, I kind of because of the makeup of that side of the pitch, the gray. You see, the thing is, you know, I kind of feel like that side with Pulisic is gonna be the problem side, and I don't think it's necessarily gonna be like all in the same spot, because I think between McKennie, Pulisic, and Robinson, it could be anywhere from like the width of the center circle out to out wide. So I wanted Hayden, Lowe, and Gray there to kind of cover all three of those little spaces in that area. So, like, you know, when we're defending, you know, he might cover here, and Lowe is there. So you have all three of these little areas on the side that USA gonna attack kind of covered. And I just feel like this left side is a little bit more sturdy in terms of defensively. And I think Joel, I don't really want Joel doing too much lateral movement. I think that's where he gets into trouble. So I feel like this side going to require more of that. So I'm putting Hayden on that side. So that's my thinking with putting Joel on this side of the formation. So hopefully that makes sense. Sheikah say Hayden is not fit to start. That's true. So I can call myself namesake like no Saj. You haven't retired, bro. You're still in the game. Stay in the football match. No, Jason, big win you want. That they told me. No, it's a two game. It's 180 minutes of game. So you have to think about that, you know. Tell Bailey not to chase Robinson before he pull up injured. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with him for a part of the running for sure. I would play Bernard central and play Holgate on the left. I was thinking that, you know, Avis, but them said don't pressure Holgate on the left. I kind of like Holgate reading of the game. Even though Bernard plays that middle part of the back three sometimes for Sheffield, but sometimes he play right or left. So he can do any kind of thing. Yeah, he's a robot. He shouldn't try to keep up with him. Just, you know, I don't know, pick your spots because he's a robot. Demi over Palmer, she cannot let it go. As I said, people, the personnel might be changed or tweaked, but again, for me, due to the challenge at hand, because I think people just want to see the creativity and everything in the team, but there's no good having creative players on the pitch if you don't have the ball. And we don't going to have the ball that much in this fixture. So that's my thinking there, people. Yes, playmakers without the ball, a big problem. Agreed. They forget about the Panama game where we got 3-0. We had 6 attackers and 4 defenders starting. Madness. There you go. Cephas and Gray later in the game. I think they will come on later. I hope not, Omzo. I hope not. He gave his interview, said he's extremely happy, smiling and everything, love the coach. So that's good signs, you know. So we Max not overthinking one bit. People just don't know how much goes in game plans. Yeah, look, if I was to sit down and really break down this game, it would be like a 5-hour stream. But, you know, we will condense it into 2 hours for YouTube, and we're past the 2 hours and I have some stuff to give away as well. So let's see. I gave it some thought, but I think I just think Boza is more clinical as a striker, and we can't afford to just not take the opportunities. So I'd rather, if a chance fall early in the game, I want Boza to get it. You know what I'm saying? I know he's not like the most clinical in the world, but when you look at our team for this first game, he's probably the most clinical player in it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I want him on the pitch for that. Brent said, great, after being the 11. Boy, I never thought it would be a day when I say Gray would be on the bench. But Brent, the man not playing no football. Him not playing no football. So the Demari that we expecting, he probably can't produce. You know? So let's cut down how much time him on the field, and maybe he can give us closer to the Demario we want to see for the entire time in play. So give him a 25 minutes. So me see it still. Doc Sports making a few changes. And as I say, the system I think most people would agree with, maybe. But the personnel might be changed. He's not clinical at all. Well, that just goes to show we don't have no clinical players, because look in the squad. Who more clinical than him? Romario Williams? Maybe. I guess you could say, but I wouldn't say he's really clinical. I think Romario is just very professional. He's gonna put in a shift. You know what I'm saying? And since I think Cephas should start, fair enough, fair enough. It's a good squad change. I would make Bell at LCB to give that diagonal passes with left to Bailey. Okay, that's a good shout. Diagonal passes. Yeah, it's nice to have that player with that strong foot over there, but yeah, I don't want to pressure Bell fitness-wise. I think maybe I give him a run out in this game, see how him feel, and then start him in the next one. Lottie would ask him to occasionally invert to add another body in midfield. Okay. I mean, no, I wouldn't call it a winger. I think how I want the system to work and how I would instruct them to play is when we have the ball, Bailey will come wider and be a winger. And the width will be supplied on this left side by Lee, right? And I want Palmer to more occupy just this half space area when we're in possession. But out of possession, I want it to get compact like this. So, yes, it might look like he's playing winger because he's closest to the wing in the system. But the way I would instruct him to play, I don't want him in possession to be out here. I want him picking up the ball in the midfield in these half space areas. And then I want Lee to be the one to go. And that will kind of shift my umbrella like this. Out of possession. Right? So out of possession, the umbrella will look more like this. Or in possession, sorry. Bailey will push. Hayden kind of come up basically. And that's kind of how I want it to look in possession. Something like that. Obviously, Hayden and Joel to come collect. And then Palmer can get a bit more central, get that 10 space going. And then Lee will supply my width on this side. And we'll have the cover. If we lose the ball, Lee up high. You know, we'll have the cover. Joel and Hayden will be there. Basically, it can go one of two ways. Bernard can tuck to form the three again. Joel can kind of go into this space to cover over here. Then because I'm starting Palmer here, the rotation can happen quickly. So it can even rotate to something like that if Lee lose the ball up high. So that is really why. If I play a Cephas here, if I play a Gray here, I don't see how we don't get hurt in transition against this team. Because they're going to transition quickly. That's what they do. So we're already kind of sacrificing on this side with Bailey a little bit. But we have the requisite cover over here, playing Hayden as a double. That can kind of cover for Bailey a little bit more. And then on this side, when Lee pushes up, out of possession, we lose the ball. Joel can easily drop, right? And create that back five again to make up for Lee being up the field. So that's how I want it to kind of look throughout the game. Those are the little system moves and tweaks that's going to ensure no matter what's going on, we'll have the cover that we need to stop this US team when they're transitioning on us. All right, so that's how I look at it, based on keeping us in the game for as long as possible. And then we have those guns off the bench we can look to, the likes of a Cephas, the likes of a Gray. I think they'll be more effective if they're coming onto the field against a USA that, you know, has 65, 70 minutes in their legs. Also, USA do not and did not carry any replacements for their fullbacks. So, you know, the likes of Joe Scally, Anthony Robinson, the only quote-unquote fullbacks in the team. So if you have wingers in reserve to come on against fullbacks who will either be a little more tired than they were to start or would have been replaced and then they have a center back, let's say Tim Ream moves out to left back if Robinson were to come off, or Scally comes off. So now they've brought on Chris Richards to play right back, more of a center back than a right back. So, you know, I think later in the game is when we can really unlock them in those wing spaces, and that's why I'm kind of keeping some of those wingers in reserve. That is just my thoughts on it. All right, so everybody have their own thoughts on who should start, and that is totally fine. What you guys can do when this video is finished, drop your comments in the comment section and leave your 11 that you would play, and also the formation you would play for that 11. All right, so yeah, look, it's not going to be great. It's not going to, everybody's not going to agree on the 11 that anyone picks. That's just the nature of football and fans in general. So I wasn't expecting a consensus today with what I picked, but just I will be posting this and we'll see how close to the actual 11s these two 11s look when the team is picked tomorrow. I don't think that the Jamaican 11 will look how I have it, because I think a little bit outside the box here. I don't know if the coach will be thinking the same as me, but I'm really curious to see how close I get the US 11. I have gone for a few players that maybe are surprises, so maybe I won't get it completely right. But if I was Pochettino, I would be going with this when I factor in all the metrics included in this game. We're talking about the pitch and the size of the pitch and the quality of the pitch. These things are part of the reason why I've went for some of the players I've gone for, the likes of Tessman and Aronson in particular. All right, so that is pretty much it as far as I'm concerned with the tactics and the tactical preview. I'm giving you my thoughts on how I think we can keep the game compact, how I think it's going to look when the teams are in possession, out of possession. Before I get the tactical part off, I never really said how I think the US will attack. So this is what I think will happen when they're in possession. I think Robinson immediately will push up the field. I think Ream will become more of a left center back. Mackenzie to the middle. Scally will sit, right? I think they will get the width on this side from Musa. I think he'll be the one to play widest on this right-hand side. Tessman will just sit in front of that back line. I think McKennie and Aronson will kind of be central. And then you'll get Pulisic into the half space. Musa will push high and wide on this side. So that's what I think will happen. I think Pulisic will have license to pretty much roam, but he'll spend most of his time in this inside left channel working with Robinson down this side. You might see him, you know, Robinson advancing and then Pulisic underlapping. He might overlap him as well to create an overload. So I do expect a lot of their attack to come down this left side, and Robinson to definitely join into the attack as much as possible. Now, where I think we can hurt them, of course, is if Robinson and Pulisic are up the pitch. You know, they're advanced. Most of their team is up. You know, their team is kind of pushed up towards the half line or whatever the case is, and they lose possession. You know, I do like this matchup here if we can exploit it. If we can get the ball into these areas with Bailey and have him one-on-one with Ream, I think that is something that can work in our benefit. Now, that is just one thing that I've really seen, but I think that is something that we can definitely count on, because I do expect Anthony Robinson to play very high and very wide on this pitch, on this flank, and that could expose the likes of a Tim Ream on that left-hand side. We know he can play left back, but again, Tim Ream is not a spring chicken anymore, so the athleticism is not what it once was, and I'm hoping that Leon Bailey can take some advantage of that, and I'm hoping as well that we get a version of Leon Bailey that we really want to see for these two fixtures. You know, maybe the time away did him good, kind of built up some, you know, somewhat of a love again for representing the country. You know, he was a bit disillusioned the last time he spoke about it, so you know, it's just good to see him back, and I'm hopeful that the time away kind of, you know, grounds him again and just lets him realize, you know, how you know, what kind of mark, you know, doing well for Jamaica can put for him and his family as far as it's concerned. So yeah, big up to everyone in the building today. That is pretty much it as far as the tactical end of the show. What I'm going to do now is I have a few more tickets that I would like to give away. So I'm just going to be asking some questions that most, if you are a true Reggae Boyz fan, you should be able to get the answer to. And of course, it will be first answer, first serve ticket. Now, of course, people, if you do not live in Jamaica and you don't have any plans to go to the game and you don't know nobody going to the game, please don't win the ticket and have me send it to you just to waste the ticket. All right, people, please don't waste the winning ticket if you can't go or you're not going to the game. All right, please. I've already given away a few, but I have some more to give away. I won't tell you how many. I will just start asking some questions, people, and you guys put the answers in the comment section. And of course, if you look in the description on this video, you will see you'll see a section that says stay connected to Jason Gooner TV. The best way to get in touch with me, I'm going to write down the winners, but the best way to get in touch with me is to follow me on Instagram and send me a DM, and I can go ahead and get that ticket to you. All right, that would probably be the best way. If you don't want to go that route, just you can put your email or your she-mail, as the people in Jamaica like to say. Put your she-mail in the comment section and I will send you the email with the ticket. All right. Were you forced to buy tickets, or is just something you wanted to do? No, I was not forced to do anything. I opened my email and I had tickets in there, and I was told that I can give them away at my convenience. So no, I wasn't forced to do anything. No, I wasn't forced to do anything. Wearing your heart on the sleeve does not mean being delusional, but doing the best for your country. Facts. All right, so first question, people. And it's going to be an easy one at first. I want you guys to tell me. Let me get this tactical pad off the screen. All right, because it's competition time now, people. All right, so we have some tickets for giveaway. It's going to be the last part of the show. First question. Who was the player that scored the lone goal the last time we defeated the United States? Who was the player that scored the lone goal the last time we defeated the United States? I see people saying Lee. I said the last time we defeated the United States. All right, Doc Sports TV. Look like you just beat Dan to that one. It was Boza in 2019 in Washington, D.C. And if you're watching the program, you got the answer earlier. So, Doc Sports TV, just let me know, yes or no. Are you in Jamaica? Are you going to the game? Ooh, but honestly, you know, it looked like, wait, so who for comment came in first? Yo, Mirac win, you know? Jano, Doc Sports, you get first, you know? Mirac win. I never even pre-Mirac win, you know, because Mirac said Greg Lee first, I'm going to rule him out, but him forward with the answer quick. All right, Mirac, send on some info so I can get the ticket to you. No, you get it, man. You get it. Doc Sports, keep trying, bro. Mirac beat you. So I write down Mirac for one ticket. I'm going to give multiple ticket if you win already, people. If you want multiple ticket, buy some more, man. You get one, buy one for whoever else you want to take. All right, link me on the gram. All right, so I'm going to put Mirac one ticket IG. All right, so just link me Jason Gooner TV, Mirac. Yeah, man, that's just me one out there. Dan I dead with laugh. All right, so next question, people. Next question for our next ticket now. See if we can get a nice question for the people now. All right, so Julie, you have any question for the people? No? You don't know enough about Jamaica. You know, I have to teach you some more about Jamaica. You know, I bet you could ask them a USA question, don't it? You say yes? Oh, people. What should I do? Bunny Shaw has turned into I don't even know who you baller for USA now. Trinity? No? No, you are Germa. Cause I defend, you defend. Germa, may I call it. Anyway, any man with TV beside them name, figure buy a ticket. Facts! Me agree with that still. Bro, even Jesus Christ had enemies in his congregation. Keep educating. Yeah, man, keep educating. Don't give up. Yeah, Boz are not Lee Sheikah. You did close. All right, so next question, people. Next question. This one is an interesting one. Let's see. Can you tell me Jamaica defeated the United States in the Gold Cup semifinal that I was at in Atlanta in 2017? No, 2015. Sorry. And in that game, Jamaica scored a free kick. Can anyone tell me the name of the player that scored the free kick for Jamaica in 2015 against the USA in that 2-1 win? Doc Sports, you're wrong that time. It wasn't Taxi in that one. Well done, Sheikah White. Sheikah White, you win. It was Giles Barnes. I know because I was there in the flesh. So, Sheikah, answer me this. You there at Jamaica right now? And are you going to the game? As long as you're doing that, we say it on JFF page. Well, if you however you answer it, you know, I don't mind, you know. Whatever resources you have to use. I didn't tell you can't cheat. I just looking for the first answer. But Sheikah, you're winning, you know. So let me know if you're in Jamaica, Sheikah. I have a ticket for you to go. It's a bleachers ticket. And you just let me know what's the best way to get it to you. All right, Sheikah? Let me know the best way to get it to you. You can follow me on Instagram at Jason Gooner TV. Once you follow me, I think I need to probably let people need to go to my Instagram, you know, because my thing not free up, you know. I have to accept the request. So I see somebody already sent something. So maybe that is Mirac. Let's see. Yeah, that is Mirac. All right. So Mirac, I got it. I got Mirac. So Sheikah, just do the same. Do the same and send me IG. Yeah, just follow me and then yeah, from there so me get it to you. So I write IG. So Sheikah White get a ticket. All right. So I have a few more questions. I have a few more tickets to give away. So let's see now. Next question. All right. Let me see. You know want people them get it, you know. You know want bust people them brain so bad. All right, so my lovely daughter forward with a question, and she don't know the answer, so she Google it. But anyway, I like it. It's a crazy one, but let's see if anybody can get it. Actually, better yet, who was Jamaica's opponent in their first ever match? Who was Jamaica's opponent in their first ever match? This might be. Let me see that, Julie, because maybe can somebody answer something, you know, but I'm not sure. Trinidad is incorrect. Cuba is incorrect. Julie excited that her question has stumped on, you know. Doc Sports TV, you've been trying from the first question. You get that one, yeah, bro. Haiti. So Doc Sports, Jason Gooner TV on Instagram. Follow me, and we'll get you your ticket. All right. You did answer me earlier and say they're Jamaica, right? When did I ask you? Yes. All right. Cool. And you go the game. All right. Cool. Don't make Julie cuss you. Let me type in Julie's name. It is the Italian spelling. Juliana. Shortened to Julie or Juju.
No.
She don't like Juju, but I like Juju. So Julia or Juju, and it's Juliana with a G. All right? Get it right for Julia for find you and chop you up. All right, so one ticket. All right, people. So Julie, I don't know if you want to assist again and find something else. That was a nice one. Respect Drew. Yeah, man. Whoever missed it, just let them know to watch it back and leave your thoughts in the comments about what you thought about the tactics and what we discussed. Don't it? I never know that at all. I don't even know if that's right, honestly, because I didn't know that. She just showed it to me and I'm like, really? 1925, we play Haiti. That was the first game. I didn't even know that. Oh, Billy never tell me that before. Billy, you never tell me about Jamaica and Haiti history. Right now. All right. All right. So this is a toss-up question, people. You shouldn't have to Google it. Someone in the comment section, please tell me what is Jamaica's current FIFA ranking. First answer will get the ticket, as long as it's not a second answer for the person. All right, so Dan, like you don't want to win today because you put the wrong number. 61 is correct. Q-Boss Davis. Wait. Q-Boss Davis. Q-Boss, you there, Jamaica? Let me know. Let me know if you're there, Jamaica, Q-Boss. Because if you're there, Jamaica, one ticket heading your way. Let me know, Q-Boss. Yes, man, in Jamaica. So you go in the game, Q-Boss? If you are go the game, Q-Boss, let me know. And if you are, yes, would love to. All right, wonderful. Well, good thing is you have a ticket now. You just have to find your way there. Follow me on Instagram. Handle is Jason Gooner TV. Just like the YouTube channel. Send me a follow. And I will DM you and try to get your email or your she-mail or your female. And we'll get the ticket to you in due time. Zine? But anyway, people, that is it. That's all the tickets that I have to give away. I gave away one the other day. All right, Doc Sports, respect. Ticket heading your way. So I have tickets for, congrats to the winners, Mirak, Sheikah White, Doc Sports TV, and Q-Boss Davis. Thanks for participating, and congrats for winning a ticket to the bleachers to the Jamaica game tomorrow night. I will have some more content. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it tomorrow during the day or if I'm going to do it later tonight. It just depends on how the rest of my day goes. About to take Julie to training. She have a skills training right now that we're going to head to. So when I get back from that, depending on how we feel, I might do something tonight. If not, I'm going to do something tomorrow during the day, and it will be more CONCACAF centered. So I want to just discuss the other three fixtures since we kind of touched on this fixture today. And then, of course, tomorrow, look out for the live match watch along starting at 7 o'clock on the dot, maybe even a little earlier, where we'll break down the full teams, give predictions, talk to the comment section about how they're feeling. Try to get some footage as well from some people at the game. If they can, just show us the atmosphere and stuff. We'd love to try to get that done for you as well. So look out tomorrow. Look out either tonight for some more content, read the rest of the CONCACAF fixtures, because we want to give time to all the fixtures for this round, because we follow CONCACAF as well. And if you don't see that tonight, you'll see it tomorrow sometime during the morning or afternoon, before we get into the night times game, which obviously is Jamaica versus USA. But thanks again for all the support on this stream. I wanted it to be right at 2 hours, but of course, sometimes you go a little bit further. So 2.5 hours, not too long. But yes, I thought we got through a lot of things today. We touched on the press conference with McLaren. We also talked about the US Federation and what their thoughts were leading into the game. Talked about Pochettino and his squad, his selections, some of his thoughts going into the game. And then we talked about some predicted 11s and also what I would like to see us go against USA with, and the kind of way I want to see us try to go about getting a result. Tomorrow, stay tuned again. I've already have the stream set for tomorrow. So before I leave, people, let me just do this. This is something that I've seen some others do, and I think it's extremely smart to do. So we have tomorrow's stream ready to go. Let's see. So I'm just going to drop. I'm going to drop the so you guys, before or as you're leaving, just click on that link right there. That is the live watch along for tomorrow. That is the link. Go ahead and click it and just drop a like on the video for me. All right, people, thanks again for all the support, and thanks again for tuning in to Jason Gooner TV. Let me see how many subs we picked up today. Wonderful, people. So this was a successful show. We got about 17, almost 20 subscribers on this one video. So thanks so much for subscribing. And let's see how the likes look as well, because at one point we were struggling to reach that 100. I think we should definitely pass it. Yes. So we got up over the 100 people. So I can't complain. I got some subs, got some likes on the video, and we got the engagement as well. So thanks again for tuning in, people. I am Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. This has been the tactical preview for the US men's national team facing the Reggae Boyz tomorrow night in the National Stadium, 8 o'clock. And until next time, people, thanks again, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Big up.